Our team, our community. This is CondorsTown, and this is another Energy Condors connection. Now, here's Erik Fox and Ryan Holt.
Well, the good news is neither one of us is blown away. So we're back for another edition of Condors Connection. My name is Erik Fox from Energy 95.3. Other side of the split screen is Ryan Holt for the Big Show Condors. How are you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm good. Yeah, it was a tumultuous drive home last night after the game, but yeah, happy to still be on the ground.
Well, we'll talk about how the Condors blew past the rain in just a little bit here. Thank you. You know, cavalcade. All the weird words you get from me. So let's jump into it. Of course, we always talk about, excuse me, the parent organization first. Apparently, I need to learn how to breathe the right way. Let's talk about Edmonton. Kind of a little rough stretch has happened the last couple games. Dropped some L's. What have we seen as those last two games went on?
Yeah, they beat the Kraken on the road in Seattle last week, and that was a big win for them. But yeah, they've got to figure it out. I think on home ice, they talked about it kind of this week, is making Rogers a tough place to play, and unfortunately, right now it hasn't gone their favor. That was a game they led 2-0. They've dropped 5 straight on home ice, but in 3 of those games they led by at least 2 goals. So I don't know if it's attention to detail, kind of figuring it's a 2-goal lead and we're going to roll here. But I watched the game the other night against Seattle, and for 30 minutes it was everything gravy, and then all of a sudden the Kraken get a power play goal, they get back in it, they score another one quick, and then all of a sudden it's it ends up 4-2 the other way. So I think if you're the Oilers, it's a little bit of attention to detail. They get the Islanders tonight, and I think defensively the team can definitely play a little harder defensively. I think I don't think that's any secret. Anytime Jay Woodcroft talked about improving a team here in Bakersfield, he always started with, we got to improve our goals against number. It wasn't we got to score more goals, we got to improve our goals against number. So that's kind of always been the focus, I think. And it's pretty simple. You look at goals allowed and what a playoff team is. There's a certain number of goals allowed that playoff teams have. And if you're not at that benchmark, you might not be a playoff team. So work to do. They've put themselves not in a hole, but certainly have put themselves in a battle here. Going into the new year, and look to get back in the win column tonight against a good Islanders team, which is coming off a win as well.
Let's talk about that, of course, 5 days into the new year. So let's make that our theme. What's the New Year's resolution for the Oilers as we head into this next part of the year?
Yeah, I think it would be defensively. I don't think they've, that's been a hallmark of Jay and Dave and, their teams here in Bakersfield. And, it hasn't been the case so far, into 2023. I think there's, room for improvement there. Brett Kulak talked about it the other night. Darnell Nurse talked about it the other night. It's being that hard, heavy team to play against is what the Oilers need to be.
Well, let's go and talk about the injury situation, because that seems to be the cavalcade of discussion here. What's the injury situation looking up there?
Did I lose you on your end? Is this me or you?
It could be a little bit of both. Can you catch me? Yep, we've lost Ryan, so we'll let him reconnect here for a moment here on your Energy Condors connection. As once again, some things happen. It's technology. I'm going to blame the wind. I'm going to blame the weather. Ryan will come back with us in just a moment here, and we'll be right back into it right here with Energy 95.3. See you in a few.
Our team, our community. This is CondorsTown, and this is another Energy Condors connection. Now, here's Erik Fox and Ryan Holt.
Luckily, I always got that video ready. When something like that happens.
You know what it is? It's the wind outside. There was a
Exactly.
power surge like last night, like the whole Jumbotron went down and stuff for like 15 seconds. I thought I was the only one who saw it, but
well, if you were here during that little shutdown, I blame the weather already for you. So you're
great.
You're
For sure the weather, not Condors.
And let's talk about injuries of technology, but let's talk about injuries of team. That's what we're going to talk about next. What's the injury situation looking like in Edmonton right now?
Yeah, I think Evander Kane's the only one that's out of substance right now. So, we'll see what his situation is. Hopefully he's back by February. And, when he does come back, that's going to, cause a ripple down effect, I think, for the Oilers. Kane makes, $6 million a year. So you can't just add him and keep your same lineup. That doesn't work money wise. So we'll see what the lineup looks like at that point. But yeah, we're still a couple weeks away from that coming to fruition.
Let's talk about the lineup as we transition to the Condors. We had a return last night at the Ontario game.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, Calvin Pickard, great to see him back between the pipes. This was a guy who, when he was signed July 1st or whatever it was in free agency, a bona fide AHL top netminder, a guy who, is a number 3 in the NHL, is a guy who can, play, full time in the NHL. He's proven that over the course of his career. But, he's a guy who, when we signed him, it was expected that, he's the number 1 and, he's going to lead us to the promised land. And he'd been hurt for, November 15th was his last start. He'd been hurt since then, missed 18 games, but came back last night and stopped 46 shots. And I think the better part of it, regardless of the fact of, us winning last night, he came out of it and he felt good after the game. I think anytime you have an injury and it's lingered and it's that long term, you play 60 minutes and then all of a sudden things don't feel the same they did in practice, or, it's just a different type of intensity. So for Pickard to come out of that game basically unscathed, the schedule sets up nice here over the course of January and February. It's a lot of travel, a lot of road games, but it sets up nice, I think, for Pickard and for Ollie Rodrigue to kind of, split the duties here. And, with Pickard probably getting the majority of the starts. But, I think it's a good omen going into 2023.
Let's talk about 2023. Obviously, a great start to the year by getting that W against Ontario. But the next stop, that's going to be a tough one, heading to the other side of the border to take on Calgary, which, we had Calgary just here. And even though they are now the Calgary Wranglers, there's still that Stockton grind in there, which these two teams come together. It always gets a little sparky.
Yeah. The Wranglers, for my money, are the best team in the league that I've seen. Coachella Valley will certainly, be a test as well too. That's a tough road trip. 2 games up in Calgary, the early afternoon game on Sunday, and then it finishes off in Palm Desert next Friday. And after that, you get 4 against Tucson, 3 against San Diego, and San Jose over 8 games. That's a let's make some hay type of January. So 2-1 road trip here would be, I think, phenomenal. You're facing a Calgary team that's won 22 out of 24 games. That's a tough test. But it was a 2-1 game the other night at home. It was a game the Condors could have won, didn't win. But you're going to see Calgary a couple times here into February as well too. But the schedule gets home favored in March and April. It's about making hay in January and February. And listen, I look at the standings, and it's probably too early to look at the standings, etc. But this Condors team's better than San Diego, better than Henderson, better than San Jose, probably better than Ontario too at the end of it, and kind of right there with Tucson. So I kind of got the Condors finishing as high as 5th maybe in the division, certainly making the postseason, and being one of those teams, I think that come April you're not going to want to play. It might look at the record and go, yeah, they're only a couple games over 500. They're 5th in the division. But, that's a team that, if you're 4th or 3rd, you're not going to want to play them.
Gotcha.
So you got to go out and, as Calvin Pickard said last night, we dug ourselves a hole, got to dig out of it. But, I think there's plenty of horses down there to be able to dig out of this.
What's the New Year's resolution for the Condors this year?
I think it's get healthier. Pickard coming back is big. We're going to be without Michael Kessering for, a couple games here. Jason Demers been out. Tyler Benson's been out. Carter Savoy looks like he's coming back, so that's good. But I think it's 2 players in particular that have come on of late, Raphael Lavoie and Justin Bailey. Bailey's, for my money, the last 2 weeks of Justin Bailey, that's an NHL top 6 type of player, from his last 2 weeks. Now it's about being able to do it consistently. And, he's been injured for the better part of the last 2 years. So, there's always that concern. For Lavoie, same thing. What he's brought to the table the last 2 weeks, 4 goals in 5 games. If he can become that player, if he can become a 20, 25 goal scorer here down the stretch, this Condors team's in good shape. You get Savoy back. He was rolling right before he got hurt. So if he can come back and play with that same type of intensity that he had right before he got hurt, that would be fantastic. Bourgault has been around the puck. He's been snake bit a little bit. He's been around the puck, but I'm fine with him being 20 years old and making all the 20-year-old mistakes you're going to make on the ice. And hey, just do it 100%, and that's fine with me. And he's been given that leeway to have that opportunity. So
let's hope they hold that resolution as we head into the new year. I think we may have lost Ryan again here. So we'll just wrap up here. It's been another Energy 95.3 Condors Connection. My name is Erik Fox. The guy frozen on the other side of the screen is Ryan Holt for the Bakersfield Condors. There we go. We're back.
I don't know what's going on. We got to get more bandwidth on our internet here. We're struggling.
Well, luckily we had you back because I was just going to wrap it up and shut you off. So instead of shutting you off, we'll just say, my name is Erik Fox from Energy 95.3. On the other side of the screen is Ryan Holt. And before the internet down at the Mechanics Bank Theater Arena / hot dog cart emporium wraps up again, how do people check out that road trip?
Yeah, AHL TV, 12 o'clock on Sunday, 6 o'clock Tuesday night in Calgary, and then our first look at Palm Desert coming up next Friday, 7 o'clock puck drop against the Firebirds before we come back home.
All right, we'll catch you out once again next Thursday right here, Ryan. All right?
Absolutely. I'll be live from Palm Desert. I don't know where we're staying or what we're doing, but we'll be in Palm Desert. We'll find another eatery that we can discuss as well, and see how lovely the hotels are in that area. I'm sure they're
all
great.
Right, Ryan Holt for the Bakersfield Condors. My name is Erik Fox from Energy 95.3. We'll catch you next time with another copy of your Energy